Assalamualaikum and greetings everyone. In this video, me and my group mate will present to you the lab that we have done, which is E3, light emitting diode. Firstly, I'm gonna introduce myself first, Ahmad Nifahmi bin Roslan, and my other members are Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Muhammad Mahfud and Nelly Shazwani binti Azman. Firstly, we go to the objective. The first objective is to measure the differences between red LED and green LED. And the second is to display the numbers using 7-segment display. Now moving on to the equipments and apparatus. Firstly, we got variable DC power supply. We got project board with connecting wires, digital multimeter, resistor 270 ohm with 0.5 watt, rectifier diode, red LED and green LED. And lastly, we have the 7-segment display. For the procedure, in the first part, we're gonna inspect the available red LED, and we identify and state the anode and cathode leads. And before we do it, we're gonna connect the circuit as shown in figure 1, and then we're gonna adjust the voltage source until the current I of 10 mA flows in LED. And then we're gonna write down the voltage across LED in table 1, and then we just adjust the voltage source to obtain other values of current listed in table 1 and fill up the table. For the part 2, we just do the same step in first part. So we're just gonna substitute the red LED with green LED. And lastly, in the part 3, we have 7-segment display. Figure 2 shows the pin of a common emitter 7-segment display. Firstly, we're gonna connect the circuit as shown in figure 3, and then we're gonna identify the type of SSD used, either it's common cathode or common anode. And then based on figure 4, we're gonna determine the pin that should be ground to display 0, and we're gonna write down the pin number in table 2. And lastly, we just repeat step 3 to display other numbers as listed in table 2. And these are some of the videos and pictures that have been taken during the experiment. Now I'm gonna move on to the data, which I will hand it to Hafizuddin to explain more.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Muhammad Hafizuddin. So I'm going to explain my part, which is data and analysis. So as you can see in this table 1, we have a current, voltage V red and voltage V green, which is for two LEDs, red and green LED. So we manipulate the voltage value until we get a certain current value that we want. For example, where we're increasing the voltage until we will get current value to 10 amps, and the rest are also the same. And in the data, you can see that as we increasing the voltage value, the current also increase. This goes the same with the green LED as well. You can see they are increasing. And for the 7-segment display part, we actually connect the pin to a certain number. For example, if we want to display number 0, for example, we have to connect the pin to number 2, 4, 5, 7, 9 and 10. And our 7-segment display type is a common anode. And for analysis part, why does the LED brightness is different when the current is varied? So as you can see from the data, when the current are increasing, for us is in order of 5 milliamps, the voltage is also increasing. So therefore the light brightness is also increasing, and this goes the same with the green LED as well. And for the second analysis, if number 8 is displayed, estimate the current through the 270 ohm resistor. So by using the Ohm's law, which is V equals to IR, we can find the current through the 270 ohm resistor. And next, why there's a different between why there are different of brightness in display number 1 and number 8. So the reason is that because there is only single resistor for each segment, therefore that's why it have a different brightness, because there is a different value of current flow to it. So for analysis number 4, what can we do to make sure that the brightness is the same? So to make sure that the brightness is the same, to display number 0 to 9, for example, you want to make sure the brightness is the same, you must put resistor to every segment so that the current will flow same so that it will flow with the same amount of current lah. Alright, so for the next part, which is discussion and conclusion, I will pass to Neili. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Neili Shazwani and I'm going to present the discussion of this experiment. So basically, 7-segment display is an electronic device that can be used for displaying numerals and some letters. The 7-segment displays are commonly used in many electronic devices, and for example, we usually see it being used in calculators and digital clocks. In this case, different letters and numbers can be represented by connecting different pins on the display to the battery, which turns on the LEDs in parallel. So the 7-segment display is actually a device that is made up of 7 LEDs connected in parallel. LEDs work very similarly to normal diodes, but when an LED is on, it emits light. So based on the part 1 and part 2 of this experiment, we can clearly see that the voltage for the red LED is slightly higher than the green LED at the same current. This happened because the wavelength of red is higher than green's in these parts. Ohm's law is applicable because the current supplied is directly proportional to the voltage. And then in part 3, the type of 7-segment display that we used was common anode. In this part, the brightness of each number was varied because each number needed different grounded pin numbers for the numbers to be displayed. Hence, that's why we could see that the more grounded pin numbers used, the dimmer the number displayed. And next, the error in this experiment was the sensitivity of the current source, as we sometimes did not get the accurate value of current because of the fine-tuning. So the precaution to avoid this error is to focus more on using the smaller scale of the current source and slowly tune it to get the correct value. And for the conclusion, the average voltage for the red LED is 2.341 volt, and for the average voltage of the green LED is 2.043 volt. Hence, the difference between the red LED and green LED is 0.298 volt. And lastly, all the numbers from the number 1 to 9 and also the decimal point were successfully displayed by using the 7-segment display.